Splatoon 2 is a colorful, family-friendly shooter, but there's something sinister hidden under all that ink. If you found some of the sunken scrolls in the first game, you might know what I'm talking about. I will be spoiling some of the scrolls from the second game, so if you'd rather find them yourself, come back later. But don't worry, we have plenty spoiler-free Splatoon videos coming your way, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss those. Splatoon is bright, silly, a little weird, and post-apocalyptic. Yes, I know that sounds crazy, but according to the sunken scrolls from the first game, humans have been extinct for roughly 12,000 years due to rising sea levels. I'm not sure where Kevin Costner's story from Waterworld fits into this timeline, but I'm sure it's there somewhere.
Never catch anything with this. It's useless.
As more and more land was swallowed up by water, the human population started to dwindle. Those who remained were desperate to find dry land, but our species couldn't adapt quickly enough and ultimately drowned beneath the rising tides. As tragic as this left room for the Inkling ancestors to take the remaining land. Thousands of years later, squids evolved to sprout legs, arms, and an impeccable fashion sense. Inkling art, literature, and science flourished. Inkling archaeologists even uncovered human fossils. That'll be me if Super Smash Bros. Doesn't come to the Switch. Though the Inkling species may seem prosperous, they weren't without their conflicts. As it became harder and harder to find land, the Octarians, an intelligent race of octopus-like creatures, waged war against the Inklings. The Octarians crushed the Inklings in the early battles of the Great War. Scroll 12 from the original Splatoon attributes the Inkling loss to being unable to wake up early enough in the morning to defend themselves. That I can relate to. Although there was a time when Inklings and Octarians were friendly with each other, the bitter rivalry between the species has been going on for a long time. After trading victories and losses for years, the Octarians were pushed underground. Some scrolls you find throughout the first game showcase propaganda from both sides of the war. This one in particular looks to be created by the Octarians, as it describes Inklings as simple and predatory. Meanwhile, Inklings accuse the Octarians of being highly aggressive in another scroll. Splatoon 2 doesn't provide much more backstory on the Inkling-Octarian war than the first game, but it does flesh out the newly emerged salmon species. If you've been following Splatoon 2, then you probably know about Salmon Run, a wave-based cooperative mode that pits your team against humanoid salmons armed with pots and pans. Deadly pots and pans, might I add. A prophecy from the lore states that when the smoke rises from the seven rings, the pinkfish will emerge from the sea, devouring all the creatures of the land. This could mean that the Octarians and Inklings need to team up to fight off the pinkfish. But we'll have to wait for Splatoon 3 to see if that actually happens. Splatoon 2 may not be a story-heavy game, but what's there is fascinating, and there's plenty more to dig into for those interested. If you have any other tidbits about the lore that I may have missed, feel free to drop them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, maybe give it a like. It really helps us out.